Imagine a scenario when hardly anyone believed in your words or your ideas. Many of those who you considered as your own mocked you. You knew that you had the skill and the knowledge, but the lack of finances restricted you. But despite all odds, with all the limited resources that you had, with all the little support that you had, you end up inspiring those who are your own, those who doubted you, and also the entire world. And with the newly acquired powers and technology, you continue to stay humble and grounded. Your newly acquired modern powers don't become a threat to anyone. But yes, you open yourself to help even those who once denied you the much needed help. Yes, this is the inspirational story of an organization that we know as ISRO. Since time immemorial, people of India have been continuously exploring space in their own way. The ancient Vedic scriptures from India have so precisely explained the manifestation and the layout of our universe and even beyond. But what Indians are doing today in the space is something different, as the masters of the ancient space science are increasingly showcasing their skills in the modern space science too. For the first time in the human history, more than 100 satellites were launched in a single rocket. ISRO broke the record previously held by Russia, which sent 37 satellites in the space by their modified intercontinental ballistic missile, and ISRO did it by a PSLV. In the late 2016, the plans were a bit less ambitious, as originally ISRO wanted to launch 68 satellites. Gradually, more satellites were added, which made the project even a bigger challenge. And then the final decision was made. 104 satellites were going to be launched in a PSLV C-37 rocket, which is 44.4 meters tall and has a weight of 320 tons. Among all the satellites, the heaviest satellite, Cartosat 2 series, had a weight of 714 kilograms, which is dedicated for Earth observation. Out of the remaining 103 co-passengers nanosatellites, 96 were from the USA, 1 each from Kazakhstan, Israel, United Arab Emirates, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and 2 from India. Launching more satellites is a lot more complex, as with the increase in the number of satellites, the chances of collision are so much higher, as they have to be sent in the desired orbit. Since most of the satellites were foreign, it was a high-risk job, as if anything had gone wrong, it could so easily hurt the reputation of ISRO, as today the launching of private satellites is a booming commercial business. Launching so many satellites in one mission does not only save cost, but also has a lesser burden on the environment. But it was not the first time when ISRO achieved something spectacular. Not so long ago, they were the ones who discovered water on the moon, and also they were the first country in the world to reach the Mars in the very first attempt. But the success of ISRO is not only a success of a commercial business model. It has a highly emotional side as well. It is said that in the year of 1999, during the Kargil War, India had requested the US to tell the whereabouts of the intruders who had entered inside India across the line of control. a democracy of more than 1 billion people had requested another nation to protect the interest of its people from the dangers of an unwanted war. But the US infamously denied India to provide any such assistance, something that they could do so easily by the help of their navigation system. And that is when India decided that it would make its own navigation system in order to protect its people. And a few years later, India joined the so-called elite nations of the world, who have their own navigation system in the space. However, as you expect from India, it went ahead and declared to all SAARC countries, that includes Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, that they all can use India's navigation system too. ISRO will soon be reaching more milestones, as they are all set to send another mission to the Mars, and are also aiming a mind-boggling feat of sending a mission to the Venus. In December 2017, we may witness another record. This time, a PSLV will be carrying 3 rovers to the Moon for the first time in the history. It has to be noted that ISRO is doing all of this on a very low budget as compared to other countries. The US, China and Russia have a lot of poor people too, but no international media mocks them when they spend so much more than ISRO on their space missions. Maybe it's time that the international media stops blinding the world citizens by its biased reporting, as they need to understand that successful business models like ISRO are going to be one of the many building blocks of India, which will help to eradicate poverty in the long run. All they need to understand is that when ISRO earns, India earns, and when India earns, its people earn. Despite all the challenges that ISRO faced in its early stages, today it has emerged as one of the top space agencies of the world. The organization, which even had to carry its first rocket on a bicycle, is now sending missions to the Moon and the Mars. It even has its own navigation system, and it has just sent over 100 satellites in a single mission. But India has not just sent the rockets in the space. More importantly, India has sent a message to the world that even though it believes in peace, it will do what it takes to ensure that the moral code of conduct is maintained. It has sent a message to those who refused to help India at a time when the humanity was in danger, that there will be a balance of the power not just on the earth, but also in the space.